Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about why women hate indecisive men. And I'm sure everybody's experienced this before, where you've been around a woman and you've kind of flip flopped on your decision, or you're not sure and you kind of hemming and hawing. And you can actually see the disgust in the woman's eyes and the attraction quickly fading from her eyes as you're thinking about changing your mind and all this flip flopping. You can actually see in real time her her attraction fading out of her face. But why is that? Why do women hate indecision so much in men? Why does it completely turn them off? It just their ovaries are getting smaller and smaller, drier and drier as they watch this you be indecisive and flip flop and not sure. But why is that? And I've had a number of theories about this. If you look up indecision and low testosterone, you will find that it's really tough to prove, correlation studies like these. Does this, behavioral studies, it's really hard to prove one way or the other whether it's really low testosterone that's causing this or other factors. But when I look at my life, I remember studying for exams in university, and every time that I had an exam where I was up all night studying, I only slept maybe a couple of hours before the exam. And when I wrote the exam, I noticed myself writing down the right answer and then being oh, maybe that's not it. Erasing the right answer and then circling the wrong answer. I did this so many times, through exams. I'm okay, now I realize that you get my exam results back and I'm I had that right the first time and I switched it to the wrong answer. It would happen over and over again when I didn't get enough sleep. I would second guess myself and go with the wrong answer. And so, yes, that lends credence into the whole idea of low testosterone causing you to be indecisive, second guessing your decisions, flip flopping back and forth. And when you look at women, feminine women, that's exactly what they do. They don't have a lot of test flowing through them. There's not a lot of testosterone flowing through those veins. They're constantly indecisive. What do I do? I don't know. Make a decision for me. I don't want to think about this. Okay? That's how low testosterone behaves. So when you see this behavior in yourself, where you're flip-flopping all the time, every decision you make, you're wondering oh, did I make the right decision? Oh, maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should have done this. Maybe I should have done that. That's the way women think. So you have to purge that out of your brain. Maybe you're not sleeping enough. Okay, that's a big thing. Hormone production, high test correlates big time with how much you sleep. So if you're not getting a whole lot of sleep, same thing that happened with me with exams. I was second guessing myself, flip flopping, probably because of low T. You don't sleep very much. You don't produce very much testosterone. So get your sleep in. This could be a telltale sign that you're, low T and you need more sleep. So this would probably explain why women find this behavior so repulsive. It's so feminine. It's ugh. How am I supposed to... I'm supposed to let this guy lead me in this relationship, to follow his lead? He's not worth following. He's flip-flopping like a woman. He's like me. He can't make a decision. This is why, if a girlfriend of yours is calling you stubborn, you're so stubborn, you so set in your ways, that is a compliment. That's just her meaning I can't change this guy. I can't change his opinion. He's so strong in his convictions that I can't knock him off. I can't sway him. I can't manipulate him. That is a compliment. So, yes, if a girlfriend of yours is saying, you're so stubborn, take it as a compliment. That is what she's looking for. She just doesn't even know it. This does not mean that you never listen to a woman, whatever she says, you don't take into consideration like what she's saying. Sometimes, I'm going to say sometimes, okay? Depending on who your girlfriend is, what her strong points are. She may have more experience than you in a certain subject, a certain situation, in which case it might help to, get her advice on things. What do you think I should do? And ultimately, it's your decision. If she's got more experience under her belt in these situations, I'll happily listen to it. Be like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Okay, I'm rolling with that. Okay, it doesn't happen very often because the vast majority of time I have more experience in whatever it is I'm doing than the woman does, than my girlfriend does, or any of the women that I meet do. But occasionally, certain situations will arise where a woman knows, has more experience than you in a certain thing. So yes, take that under, advisement. It might be the better decision. In which case, roll with it. Be like, okay, that sounds like a good idea. Roll with that. But again, if you're listening to a woman and you've got more experience than her in this situation, you can just completely ignore whatever she has to say. Like, you're going to stick with your guns. You know better. She will respect you for that. Oh, you're so stubborn. She may complain that you're such like a hard ass or whatever. But ultimately, that's a compliment. From a woman that's in a relationship with you, that is a compliment. You don't want to be flip-flopping, in front of your girl, whining about like, oh, should I do this? Should I do that? Oh. No, you are the leader. Okay, you don't let her see that. Even if you are unsure, you make a decision and you stick with it. Okay, you don't go flip-flopping back and forth. This is what women do. They make a decision and then they go, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I shouldn't have done this. Okay, you've got to get rid of that thinking. You've got to make the decision and be like, yes, that's the best decision. I'm rolling with it. Okay, nothing's going to change my mind. Okay, this is how, this is what really attracts women. The fact that you can say like, nope, I'm doing it this way. Okay, this doesn't mean that you never listen to a woman. Sometimes she will surprise you and come up with a better idea than you do. And then in which case you can be like, yeah, you know what? Sounds like a good idea. I'll roll with that. But it should be a rare occurrence. Okay? It rarely happens to me where I'm like, oh, okay, that sounds like a good idea. Okay, you have to trust your gut and roll with it. No second guessing. No indecision. And if you get enough sleep, you will probably have like not that big of a difficulty sticking to your guns, sticking to your decisions. You make that decision and whatever happens, good or bad, you're rolling with it. Okay, you're going to make it work. If something bad happens, you're going to plow through and make it work. This is why you can't go around like second guessing yourself, changing your mind, flip-flopping back and forth, because that is what women do. That is, the quintessential woman is flip-flopping back and forth, can't make a decision. She's looking to you for leadership. She's looking to you to guide her. You have the testosterone, you have the conviction to make up your mind and go with it. Okay, I can only imagine what it's like to be a woman. I got a little taste of that when I went without sleep trying to write an exam and like second guessing myself on every exam question. I can only imagine what it's like doing that every day. Flip-flopping, second guessing, what if this, what if that? Oh, maybe I wasn't the right answer. Maybe I'll change it. Maybe I should have done this. What a nightmare. Okay, make your decisions and roll with them. That is what you do as a man. You stick to your guns and you make it work. Whatever happens, whatever decision that you made, you can make good out of those decisions. And if it's the bad decision, you learn something for it for next time. Anyways, guys, that's the video. If you need help doing this, purging yourself of this indecisiveness, unable to stick to a decision, unable to, stick to your guns, that's exactly what I help guys do. There's coaching links down below if you are interested. You can fill out the questionnaire and I'll see if we can work together. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Thank you for watching.